All right, so we went through all of our breakdowns. Now, and I've mentioned it a few times, the importance of my goal being to keep him flat on the mat. In college, it's really important because you have riding time, and at every level, it's important because if I get him flat, it makes it a lot easier for me to work for my turns and my pinning combinations. So, say I got on top here and I broke Tony down and got him flat. Now, there's a few different things that he can do once he gets flat. Go ahead and just go completely flat. So, again, I've mentioned it a couple times, I want to be on my toes. Now, there are instances where I'm going to be on one knee or the other. I never want to be on both knees. All right. So when I'm on top, I'm always driving into him, whether it's I'm up on both feet, one knee, or the other knee. But being up on my toes allows me to drive pressure into him, helps me to get as much weight as possible onto him, so it makes it harder for him to get back up. Now, there's a few different things he could do to try to get up. One, he could try to bring both arms back and do like a push-up, basically. Two, he could just bring one arm back and try to maybe like sit into me, like a sit, yeah, that way or the other way, where he comes up and brings that leg in. And at the same time, he's kind of doing it, but a lot of guys will bring up one leg or the other and then try to kind of build up off of that. And so with him having the goal of trying to do that and get back to his base so he can ultimately stand up, a few different things I can do. Now, if I'm off to this side and Tony's trying to do basically like the push-up, that first one, my goal is to kind of keep my elbow out. All right, here. Keep him extended there on this side. And also what I can do is if this arm starts to come back, I can just kind of keep my elbow or my hand behind him. Because again, I want to keep him extended here. And you're not going to be hanging out in here with your sole purpose of being to keep him flat. We have to work from that. But these are just some keys, some pointers of ways that we can keep him flat before we get into our wrist control or our different turns. Just some strategies here. Again, if that arm starts to come back, I can kind of keep that straight. If it's the near side, I can kind of just lift this elbow out. Because he needs to get his hands back underneath him here to be able to start to build. So if I can keep him extended, that's good. So with that in mind too, my arms are underneath his arms. All right. I don't want to start coming over the top here. This is where he can start to control my wrist. He can switch it to the opposite side of his head. There's different things he can do here to tie me up. That's going to make it difficult for me to advance my position. So I'm staying underneath his arms, but I can post, I can extend, and I can work from there. Now, if Tony's trying to bring his legs up, maybe rotate this way a little bit. So if Tony tries to bring his far leg up, I can post my hand back here and block him. If he gets this knee up far enough, he can start to build back up, back pressure over it, and get back to his base. So if I feel him starting to do that, I can either use my elbow as a block, or I can kind of post my hand on the mat to kind of stop him here as I'm working. Again, just a different tactic. We're not going to just sit here and stall, but it's just something I can do. Now, if Tony brings his near leg up, now I can use my leg, which I prefer. If he tries to bring his near leg up, I just basically meet his leg with my leg, and he's not going to really be going anywhere with that. But again, I'm not on both knees from here. So if he starts to bring that up, I extend. So go ahead and just kind of start like building up a little bit either way. Here, block, keeping him extended, and keeping my weight into him. So again, it's not really a technique per se, but there's different strategies for if he's going to be trying to build up. If he's any good, he's going to be trying to get back to his feet. So we're making sure we're staying under his arms. We're making sure we're keeping pressure driving into him where we're on one knee, no knees, but definitely never two knees here. You can't generate the pressure you need to keep him down if I'm sitting on both of my knees. And then we're using our hands and our knees, our feet, if we need to block him, to keep him as extended as possible as we prepare to move into our wrist control for our tilts, our turns, and all that offense to score more points. So just some keys again after we get him broken down and how to keep him broken down.